Florida, South Georgia, and then up into Virginia. And I'm talking like 16, mid to late 16.
We're going with the Yamasee.
And then over to
They will get somebody else to make the target.
England. And Suffolk, England. There's 400 people. If it's accurate, I mean, who knows if that's accurate or not, but it's like way back to then. And I'm at least four or five generations Native American. So, yeah, I mean, I need to look that up.
Whoa! And the uniforms, we're wearing artillery uniforms.
Okay.
Because this independent company was artillery.
Okay, I saw the one guy with the, you have a breastplate or it's on his...
It's a breastplate.
Yeah,
he's
got
a
this. That's
captain.
Okay, that guy, yeah.
That's a symbol of rank.
Gotcha.
But we're wearing our, this is independent artillery company, so this is a
They must have
Spanish.
died in the
Ready.
Well, back then it was cool.
Oh.
The Earth is going
Yeah,
what
look
they
at that.
call the mini ice age.
Yeah.
So in fact here
Right.
in November
Right about.
through about March there was ice on
Right.
the ground.
Wow.
I read a journal that
Angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, and angle 8. Alright, these were the techniques they would have used to hack through a line of soldiers. Or if you were a sailor and you ended up boarding another ship, these were the techniques you would use to hack through a line of sailors.
Hello.
The idea is he's attacking me because I want to get in as close as possible, finish the job, and move on to the next person. The defenses were always kept with that in mind. For example, angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, not do that one right, angle 8. So yeah, I wanted to not attack first and get in as close as I could, as fast as I could. Now, you'll notice this weapon right here, we know it as a tomahawk. The tomahawk was not originally a Native American weapon. It was brought over by the French. It was a shipboard instrument. It was used for cutting wood, cutting rope, cutting people. But there were several ways to, not several ways, there were two ways to defend yourself with a tomahawk. There were punches and deflections. Punch happens with the head of the axe. Angle 1, angle 2. And then the deflections happens with the edge of the tomahawk. Angle 3, angle 4. Like so. And again, I have to stress, these techniques were for the Navy and they were for the infantry. If you were on land in a battle and you were using an edged weapon, you were close to everybody around you. You were facing pole weapons. You didn't have a whole lot of room to do anything. The same thing on a ship. You had masts, you had rigging, you had a lot of other sailors to deal with. There wasn't a whole lot of room for these, big fancy attacks. You were in close combat, and chances are you were coming from up high. So that largely takes care of what you would have been dealing with in a battlefield scenario in close combat. The other scenario in that time period you've been using a sword was a duel. Two people of high society, two military officers, one questioning the honor of another, one insulting the other. Particularly in France, you could not let someone get away with that kind of thing. Your reputation was everything. And if you could defend your reputation via swordplay, you would keep a good one. Now the way that small sword worked, particularly the French and the British styles, if me and my friend over here were to get into a duel, we had a squabble with each other, we would start swords drawn with the bow, we'd bow to each other, the non-dominant foot, the side that our sword's on, would be forward. We would draw with the non-dominant side forward, bring the non-dominant side backwards, standing on guard here. There were several on-guard stances, most of which involved the arm behind the back. This was en garde al triste, this is en garde al carte. A lot of times what you see in the movies is this. The reason why that was a thing at all is if it was dark outside, they would have had a lantern to see where their opponent was. Now the striking patterns, oftentimes small swords, the edges weren't sharp. Only the tip was sharp. it was a thrusting weapon. And the back foot was used as a post to kind of lean yourself on and launch yourself into a thrust with the other side. And the parries, they weren't supposed to be kind of dramatic, cavalier, thrust at me, like saber-like parries like that. They're meant to be small, thrust again, kind of simple motions, like so. And the 4 basic ones were parry 1, parry 2, parry 3, and parry 4. Like that. And combinations, and again, most duels were ended within the first few moves, okay? I want to try and kill, injure, or disable my opponent within a couple moves or less. If it goes on much longer, we're going to get really tired and it could end in a draw. That was worse than losing. So combinations are such as he can thrust, I can parry on the inside and come in on the inside. Or he can thrust, I can parry on the outside and take over the inside. Or he can thrust, I can parry on the inside, maneuver to the outside, and take over the center line. Those are just a few examples. There's a lot of combinations that there's records of them using while they were still dueling with small swords and before they began dueling pistols. Thank you very much for listening, everybody.